Hello my friends, in this video we will talk about the jungle tier list for patch 2601, so basically the new season patch. We have Z tier, S blind, S counter, A tier, B tier and basically solo queue champions, and Z tier is basically the best, so kinda pick and ban champions that you can kinda always go and you will always have agency in every single game. When we are looking at junglers, then we can kinda see a pattern, like a lot of junglers with tools like bruisers, for example, Jarvan, Wukong, or like Xin. They are super high in priority, especially in competitive. So let's get straight to the point and go through the list. So in my Z tier list, we have Jace, Malphite, Diana, Zed. Jace, in my opinion, is just the best champion right now in the jungle. He has insane poke. Like when you get through mid lane, you have insane clear. This champion basically has no downsides at all. And you can still flex it to top or potentially even mid. Malphite was like a B1, so first picked in LCK, for example. Like this champion, maybe you need a Silas band for it. And then Malphite is so broken every single time. You're basically having free tools. It's a flex pick again, and this is why Malphite, in my opinion, is Z tier. Aside from that, you still have like a decent clear. Diana is a really good solo queue champion, but can, in my opinion, also be played in competitive. So the only real downside of Diana is that some games, like when enemies are really mobile, it's kind of hard to find, I guess, some sort of agency, but she's still Z tier champion, especially with the new items. Same thing kind of for Zed. It's like a solo queue champion, but if you're a really good Zed player, then also in competitive, he's a Z tier champion because the champion has such a fast clear, and if you're mechanically really good on him, then he's basically fitting into every single draft. Next one is S tier, and you will see the best bruisers here basically. So Xin, Wukong, Jarvan, right? They all have tools. They are basically bruisers that are beefy but also do a lot of 80 damage. And then we have like two more assassins, Kiana, a lot of tools, and Talon is also really good, but is more of a champion that has like more potential in solo queue, I would say, because he gives you like no tools or anything, and you need to be really good on Talon. Then counter picks, we have Poppy. Poppy is really good in the new season, especially for dives, and when enemies have like any sort of dashes, you can also flex Poppy. Kha'Zix has some really good angles. Gwen, in my opinion, especially with the new item, if the enemies have a lot of melee champions and you can actually hit and use your W really good, then she's absolutely insane. Like that champ in solo queue and also in competitive, absolutely viable. Nunu is more of like a champion that kind of needs angles and like only a lot of OTPs are playing him. But if you play him really good, I think he can be a great counter pick into specific team comps. Same thing for Silas. Like for example, Silas is more of a champion you want to get when enemies have like good ultimate. Let's say enemies have like Maokai or Malphite or something where you can steal insane ultimates, then this champion will get value. Zac, it's super hard to pick Zac because there are a lot of champions that can just interrupt Zac, like Jenna, Poppy, basically any champion can interrupt his jump. But when Zac is picked late, I think he has like a lot of value. Nafiri, really good as well this season to dive, for example. You have like a few harder matchups in jungle. But aside from that, Nafiri is always good, especially paired with Orianna, where you can just ulti on the enemies basically and then get like an Orianna shockwave onto them. Mundo, great counter pick as well. Same thing kind of for Belveth, in my opinion. Ivan is simply a heal and shield bot. I think in a lot of games this champion would be pretty good, but for example, let's say you play Ivan and enemies pick Zed, like Zed will clear so fast, he will buy anti-shield and you can basically not play the game. Cho'Gath also counter pick, I think a good option for like later drafts, and Lilia is more of a champion that is, for example, really good into like some sort of bruisers, like Wukong for example. She has a really good matchup and is then viable. Then my A tier list, basically we have like a few bruisers that in my opinion are just a bit worse than the ones above, but still Pantheon and Vi could even be as blind if you have more comfort on them than the other bruisers basically. Echo is more of a solo queue champion, but is in the same category, and every single champ in this tier can basically always be played kinda. Jungle counter pick is not that relevant, but I still think you have like really good angles if you're getting a counter pick into a specific team comp. Then your champion gets like insane value. Then we also have a few tanks in here, like Skana, for example, or Sejuani. I guess we could also put Maokai in there, to be honest. Like Maokai is kind of the same category. It's simply a CC bot that is basically a frontline. And then when you get to B tier, these champs are kind of viable, but you need to be really good on them, like Viego, Nidalee, Graves. Ramos, in my opinion, is simply really useless right now. Like he's just not a champion. He's so outdated. And then Hecarim, Shaco Master Yi, Kane, Evelyn, Warwick, they're kind of all solo queue champions. Like there's not really much these champions bring into any competitive game, for example. If you found this helpful, feel free to check out the comment section and write me your thoughts about this tier list and what you think is good right now. Also, if you're interested in any sort of coaching, I'm running a coaching Discord where we also discuss about these tier lists and champions that we think are good right now. And then I'm wishing you a nice day. Goodbye.